好，我是悠悠，欢迎收看本期的星座优优秀特别节目大师访谈，扭转乾坤福马门。今天为大家连线的是来自英国伦敦占星学院的院长弗兰克老师。好，我马上来连线他啊！你好，弗兰克 ，Hello。
Hi everybody, this is Frank Clifford and I wanted to send everybody at the Yo-Yo Show a very warm welcome from cold, wet London, my home here in England, and I just hoping everybody is having the best time they can have.
好，我来问弗兰克的第一个问题啊，现在土木都合相在水瓶座了，那这个星象呢，会给我们整个的这个宇宙的能量带来一个特别大的变化。那我觉得，我想问问弗兰克院长，你是怎么来理解和看待这个天象呢？
Now, 2021 is a very different type of year. The energy in some ways is quite rebellious. Saturn moves into Aquarius and it starts to square the planet Uranus in the sign of Taurus. And it does this all year, but mainly in the middle of February, in the middle of June, and at the end of December. So 2021, one of the major themes of the year will be about tradition, the traditional or more conservative aspects of life and society, clashing with more modern, younger, more revolutionary aspects of society. So Saturn-Uranus is, on a personal level, an invitation to discover what it is we want to keep in our lives that is working for us, that's full of stability and good types of stability and security, and also to embrace the Uranian spirit of change, to look at parts of our lives that are daring us to have more courage, to change areas that have become too stuck, too predictable. So what I want to tell the Yo-Yo Show is that at the end of December, before we begin 2021, we have a very special conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn in the sign of Aquarius. But I want to say something first about the importance of this aspect. So in Aquarius, we're looking at new ideas, new scientific breakthroughs, the technology in the next 20 years, as we can imagine. And one of the things that we can do this year, during the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction and throughout 2021, is start to reject other people's definitions of who you should be and start to write your own story and to embrace your imperfections, but also to embrace and tolerate who you are and promote that, not to be ashamed of any aspect of who you are. That'll really help you grasp the key qualities and the main invitation of the year ahead. So hi everybody, I've been asked to say something about the 3 Mercury retrogrades during 2021. Well, the first one happens in the sign of Aquarius at the end of January, pretty much for 3 weeks to about the end of the 3rd week of February. So the retrograde Mercury in Aquarius is about revising your opinions, reconnecting with friends from the past, reconnecting with people that you had something in common with, getting back in touch with your groups. A few months later, Mercury goes retrograde at the end of May to about the 3rd week, once again, of June. And Mercury is retrograde in the sign of Gemini. And Gemini is a sign that's all about looking at new options. It's the sign of the twins, the sign of duality. End of May, for most of June, great time to go back, to connect with that, to talk to people, get their ideas, get their feedback, and in some way reconnect with some fundamental writing, communication, or ideas that you've had put away for years or months. Good time to get back into conversation with people and to keep learning. And the final one from the end of September to the middle or third week of October, the Mercury retrograde in Libra is about rediscovering how you relate, learning more about relationships, the people that you care about, your close friends, partners, family members, thinking about what you can do to change and improve the relationships that you have with important people.
那么我就想问一下啊，具体的问题，我们来一个一个星座说吧。第一个就是白羊座，它在2021年的运势是怎么样的呢？
Now, what's interesting about 2021 is that there's a lot of activity for you Aries at the very beginning of the year. There's a very powerful new moon in the middle of January, and some of you will want to take action immediately. I'd like you to brainstorm, to make a list of what you want rather than make changes immediately. So you may want to be impulsive. Wait until the springtime, around April or May, before you start to really seriously think about these major changes. Give yourself a goal, focus on that. The focus at the beginning of the year, it's getting back and making some money or making an investment. It's looking positive for that. But at the same time, get back in touch with friendships, get back in touch with people that help you enjoy life, so you don't just focus only on work this year. So February and March are the best times for making money, developing that, but again, be cautious. Don't make too many sudden changes or sudden decisions until you have more information as well. In terms of relationships, around your birthday in March or April is a very passionate time, a passionate year. But again, wait a little bit before you make some serious commitments and learn a bit about yourself and the best of how you can be in relationships later in the year.
接下来呢，我们来问一下这个金牛座在2021年的运势吧。
Now, the year ahead begins with Mars in your own sign of Taurus, and that gives you an added determination to fight for what's yours, to fight for what you need, and to fight for what you're owed. So the important thing for you this year, Taurus, is to not give in to other people who want to persuade you to do things their way if you know that your way is better. Don't try to keep everybody happy this year. It's going to be important for you to take the bull by the horns. You are Taurus, the bull, and to pursue new adventures and not worry too much about what other people think. This is a really great year for you to embrace new career options, to think about moving outside of your regular work or lifestyle, but realize you'll have opportunities this year that may not come again. So take them and build them, and don't be afraid to feel insecure or anxious about new things in your life. Give it a go. Have the courage that we know you have, Taurus. It's also in terms of around your birthday, around mid-April to mid-May, the planet Venus is in your sign, in a sign that relates to relationships and to you expressing yourself in your relationships. And so you may find that around your birthday there are romantic opportunities, but it will take possibly till September or October before new loves develop into something that you feel you can rely upon.
好，感谢弗兰克院长。第三个，我们来说一下双子座。
Well, we know as a Gemini, you get bored easily and you want to do many, many different things in your life. Now, in the middle of February, there's a very powerful new moon, and it involves the planet Neptune. And in some ways, it's the beginning of a new professional life for you. And it may not really develop until 2022. So it will be a while before you start to see those changes. But it's giving you a glimpse of doing something more meaningful in your life. But again, this year, if you want to study something that really helps you understand who you are, like astrology or some other esoteric discipline. Go deep into it so you can broaden your mind and understand who you are and the people around you, understand them better. Relationship-wise, if you're single, there's a big development in March or April in terms of you getting out there, mixing with new people, connecting with people. It's really important that you find somebody that understands you, that hears you, that is willing to have a conversation with you.
好，然后我们来说一下这个第4个星座啊，就是在这个土星在摩羯座苦难多多的巨蟹座，那它在这个2021年是不是要翻身了呢？
Now, we know that Cancer is a very intuitive, sensitive sign. It picks up on discord, it picks up on other people's emotions very, very quickly. So this year, I want to say to you, Cancer, be extra careful. Put up a bit of a boundary. It's time to distance yourself from people that take advantage of you. So better boundaries with friends and family and workers and people that you see every day, to be a little bit tougher and just find people, spend more time with people who share your interests and have got your best interests at heart as too. Now, one of the things of the year, one of the big planetary events is that Mars moves into your sign at the end of April until about the middle of June. It's usually about 6 or 7 weeks, end of April to the middle of June. And that's going to be a powerhouse time for you to really get in touch with your emotions, family issues, maybe to confront a family member who has been very difficult or unsupportive or too needy of you. And I'm going to say to you during those months, particularly May and particularly June, to find ways of expressing yourself differently through art, through music, through dance, in some way to connect with things that get the emotions flowing in a positive way for yourself. Now, what's important all year is to be very committed to yourself, to what you need in your life, even if other people are expecting a lot of you. What I want to say to you, Cancer, is to be very committed to your own emotional well-being.
然后接下来我们来说一下狮子座吧。
Well, it's a very dynamic year. That's the thing to say for Leo. There's the opportunity to have a series of better relationships, to expand and explore your creative work in your job or in a hobby. Even if there are disruptions at work, sudden changes, particularly in January, because there's a Mars and Uranus connection, if there are things that are unexpected happening, just hold on tight, recognize what it is that you do very well, and keep going. There's a feeling, those of you who are ambitious Leos, there's a feeling of gaining more recognition in life this coming year, more recognition from bosses and also more autonomy at work, having more freedom to do the things that you want to do. You might also be asked to look after other people or to lead the way. So remember that the best you can be is to be a generous leader and encourage other people, give them their time in the spotlight as well. The Jupiter-Saturn conjunction is happening in your opposite sign, Leo. And what's interesting is that it will provide a level of stability and exploration. So those of you in relationships, you might want a bit more freedom, or you might want to explore and develop a new avenue with your existing partner. If you're single, it's a time to not settle for second best anymore, to find somebody who really understands you well, who wants to explore life with you, not somebody that resents you shining, or somebody who wants to block your creativity or stop you finding your voice. This year is the year ahead, 2021, is the time to get reconnected with who you are.
好嘞，然后我们来说一下这个处女座的运势吧，我很期待哦。
We know Virgos can be very self-critical, very hard on themselves. So what I want from Virgos this year is to look at their achievements, to encourage themselves, to pat themselves on the back when they do a good job, because it's going to be a very busy year. You're going to be juggling all sorts of deadlines, and it's a great opportunity to connect with the world, to be seen as a good communicator. So don't sell yourself short. Don't be super critical. Don't just downplay all of your good traits and your abilities. Now, August is going to be a very special month for you because both Venus and Mars are in your sign. And again, it's saying to you, get yourself in the summer month when it's the time to relax, enjoy, indulge yourself, have some fun, but also maybe change your diet. Change your exercise routine. Do something different with your routine to make life a little bit more interesting. You'll find that between May and July, just before that special month of August, Jupiter moves sign, and it's giving you an idea of some of the types of relationships you can have in the future.
好，谢谢弗兰克院长。然后说完处女座，我们来说天秤座啊。天秤座的朋友一定要特别注意听。我觉得在这个2020年，你真的是喜忧参半。那2021年你是要怎么样了呢？然后我们来听一下。
You're one of those signs that's probably had a tough 2020, and in some ways, this year, 2021, will be a breakthrough. And one of the best ways you can do that, Libra, is to ask for some help. To get other people in the family or other people at work helping you with your workload and to share some of the commitments that you've taken on. In fact, a lot of 2021 is about having the courage to try new things in relationships, in friendships, and to place some fun at the top of the list. Also, I want to say to you, look at a new course, particularly in the springtime. Think about a short course to learn something artistic or learn something about yourself and tap into a creative talent that you've had.
好，说完了天秤座，我们来说一下天蝎座。
So what's coming up for the sign of Scorpio in 2021? Well, we know that Scorpio has a reputation for intensity. And what's interesting is that this important Jupiter-Saturn conjunction is happening around the bottom of your chart. The area that is linked to your home and family, but also to the past generations that came before your parents as well. Second half of January, August, the middle of November, that feel quite disruptive, where you'll be asked to play bridge builder or peacemaker between possibly people in your personal life. There'll be people that want change, and there'll be people that want stability or things not to change. And that's going to be an interesting battle for you to try and help people resolve. One of the interesting parts of the year is that in the middle of the year, Jupiter moves sign into Pisces for a few months, and that gives you an idea of what 2022 will be like, where you can start to have more peace and harmony in your relationships. But understanding who you are, where you've come from, solving that mystery in some way is going to be the important step towards having more harmony the following year and having better relationships.
好。谢谢。说完天蝎座，我们来说一下射手座吧。
Well, like many signs, you've had a tough 2020, perhaps particularly involved with your finances. Luckily, your ruler Jupiter and Saturn move away from that part of your chart at the very beginning of the year, which means that you'll be able to focus on perhaps spending that money or developing a new way of building your money or getting some money back that's been lost or spent recently. But be careful you don't spend too much at the beginning of the year. It's better that you save and not create any problems for the future. But certainly the theme of the year is that the problems to do with finances that many of you have had are lifted. They start to evaporate, which is good news for you, Sagittarius. The other thing happening at the beginning of the year is that the energy returns, and there's a real sense of you moving forward with connecting with people, getting exercise back into your life, getting a regime of exercise and better diet and feeling healthier all around. So go out, explore if you can, run around, take up a new sport, do something physically demanding that's going to get you back feeling alive again. So that's great. That's Mars in the opposite side of your chart for the first part of the year. Enjoy it, explore it, and feel energized. Jupiter also sneaks into the sign of Pisces between May and July, the middle of the year really, and then it comes back really in 2022, and it's going to give you an idea of bringing more of a spiritual practice to your home, or a sense of needing harmony, peace and quiet, peace of mind, more of a spiritual connection in your home, in your private life, with your family. One of the things that you can be doing this year is to be more forgiving, or to let go of past issues or problems, and to just to show compassion to people that may have not treated you well.
说完这个射手，我们来说我们这个上一个这个老大哥。其实我们知道这个冥王星啊，它还在摩羯座呢。它土星和木星到了水瓶座之后，我们摩羯座的朋友的运势是怎么样的呢？
In Capricorn, lots of things have broken down, and we've understood the importance of personal responsibility. The great news is that a lot of the pressure is lifting, because two of the planets that have been in your sign, Capricorn, are moving on at the end of 2020 and spending its time in your neighboring sign of Aquarius. So there should be a sense of feeling relieved. Things are getting better. Things are not so heavy, so difficult, so slow. So part of the message of both Jupiter and Saturn moving away from your sign will be to start to think about constructing a new vision for your financial future. 2021 is the year to start building towards that, to start to see that vision, to in some way conceptualize it and develop it. The other thing that's happening is that this year you'll start to meet new people that will open doors for you on a personal level and a professional level too. And you'll start to feel that you're getting some respect from other people too, maybe because of all the hard work that you've done, or all the burdens that you've been carrying over the past few years. Between April and June is also a good time to explore new types of relationship as well. And that's partly because Mars, the planet of energy and drive, is in your opposite sign during that period.
好，接下来就到我们的这个主角，这个水瓶座了。我们大家可以重点的听一下。我觉得水瓶座时代，我个人真的非常的期待，因为它有活力、有创新、有集体的意识，真的非常的棒。
Well, 2021 starts off in a very good note for you, Aquarius, with Jupiter and Saturn in your sign. And Jupiter is the planet of opportunity and expansion. And in your sign, it's going to be an opportunity to get back, enjoy some element of fun, social activity, social connection with people. And in your own sign, it's time to get back in touch with people that you enjoyed their company, or areas of life where you have something in common with people, to rejoin a group. The only difficulty in the year ahead is the continuing presence of the planet Uranus in your 4th house, in the bottom of your chart. And since 2018, 3 years ago, Uranus has been there, and it's to some extent coincided with disruptions, upheavals, sudden changes to your personal life, to your home, to the family situation maybe. And it's continuing there.
接下来说完水瓶座，我们来说一下双鱼座吧。
So, what does 2021 hold for the sign of Pisces? Well, it's interesting because there's a new moon in the middle of February, just before your birthday, that starts to give you a glimpse of some of the things that you truly want in your life. And 2021 is about sitting quietly with yourself and thinking about where you want to be, who you want to be with, where you want to go in your life, where you want to live, who you want to connect with, all the big questions of your life. There are times this year that you'll want to run and hide. There will be periods when you just want to escape any discord and just be alone, particularly in April and September. And there'll be times when you really want to connect with the world around you and feel inspired to learn from people, to teach people, to connect on an emotional, spiritual, or creative level with people. And those are around March, May, and October. So a lot of this year is a very mixed feeling. It's a feeling that keep yourself busy, feel inspired.
然后非常感谢弗兰克老师的解答，每年都给我们网友来说我们的运势。然后呢，在这里呢，马上就要到我们中国传统的春节牛年了啊！我也祝你新春快乐。然后呢，在这里也希望你给我们中国的网友留下一些祝福。
Thanks everybody. Have a great year ahead. I hope to see you in China in 2021 or 2022. Take care of yourself and look after each other.
特别感谢弗兰克老师的祝福，希望我们很快可以再见面，然后也希望我们网友在2021年的事业、爱情双丰收，生活更上一层楼。大家有什么问题呢？都可以在我们节目下方我们腾讯视频号来给悠悠留言。那么今天我们的连线呢就到这里喽，各位亲爱的网友，再见吧，拜拜。